Hi. Is this how you do it? I think the guy said to speak into here. Yes. Hello, my name is Basil. I am, in fact, a hidden shadow from the secret chamber. The one the hosts of this podcast have been speaking about so much. We've been listening to the show, and, well, we were such big fans we decided to invite them here. And where exactly is here, you ask? That's a bit complicated, isn't it? But for your listening's sake, this is a secret chamber. And here we have a gathering of all kinds of different martial artists that convene and share in the secrets of their martial arts, or kung fu as you might say. Anyway, we've allowed the boys Alex, Khan and Nikansi access to our secret chamber to record their show, so that we can learn the secrets of their movie and media review. Rather, nerd movies and nerd medias, as I was told to say. In today's episode, the boys dug into our supply of tabletop games gathered from all around the world and decided to change things up a bit. So they will be reviewing 3 different tabletop games. Very exciting. Well, I think I've rambled on long enough, haven't I? So without any further delay, this is Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber, the tabletop review. That's about 4 inches, right?
Yeah,
of girth. Really Are we talking about girth?
Yeah. All right, guys.
Welcome to Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber.
We have an amazing show for you tonight.
Yeah. But the reason we are calling tonight a special night because we changed shit up and we had a game board night, a family game board night.
Yeah, it was adorable.
It was fun.
It's pretty cute.
I wanted more time.
There was popcorn and fucking sodas,
Snacks, pizza,
orange slices, you name it.
apples,
And
I need more orange
water.
slices.
you know, Nikanti's mom made brownies, and she kept.
Don't lie. She's
I
made
know that's a lie.
brownies.
Okay, so what we're gonna do tonight? We played a few different game boards, and I think we're gonna go
Board
round
games.
table. What did I say?
Game boards.
Board games. My bad.
That would be a different thing entirely.
We're gonna go round table and talk about our favorite game. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
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 Okay, because we didn't really discuss this before.
Yeah, we didn't really discuss this.
Yeah, how do you
before.
wanna
Let me
do it?
just.
Is that how you want to do it? We can do it different.
No, we could definitely do it. That's,
I mean,
that's
I'll
just
edit
good.
this
That's,
out.
yeah, that's good. No,
Okay,
you
that's
could
fine.
even leave
Let me
this in.
just.
And that is,
yeah.
So that's what we'll do. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, we are usually a movie review podcast. We're your number one source for light and heavy
nerd
We'll tell you what you should be watching, streaming, gaming, and anything else for the nerd soul. My name is Alex, your wee boy posing as a functioning member of society.
I am the gaming guru, Khan.
Light and heavy.
And light and heavy over there is our super buff, super shy, strong boy, Nikansi.
Oh, I get it, because he has to be light on his feet, but he has to be heavy as in density for his muscles.
For his super punches.
Yeah.
So we played 3 different game boards. Again, this is game board night.
Board games. You keep
Why do I say game board?
I
Game
don't
Boy?
know. Game Boy. Wait, trying to play Game Boy.
Es porque
We actually
my
played
you
4
trying to-
different games.
my accent it comes out sometimes, and I can
4 different games.
do the.
Oh, that's right, because the Gintama.
And
that's
just
not the
so
name.
just so our viewers know, we are kind of novices at board games.
Yes, we are for
We're-
sure. Me.
We're like that's a lot of reading. Nah.
It was a lot of reading
No.
to get started.
Like,
That's a
yeah.
lot of reading now.
But the good news is that with the games that we played tonight, if you're just playing like one practice run through, halfway through this little run through, you're gonna pick it up really easy, and it's gonna start to get really fun. So again, we played four different games tonight. I got to play 2 of those games. One was Dragon Castle, and the other one was Boss Monster, which is a super dope card game. But what were the other 2 games that you played, Nikonzi?
I played Onitama and Pandemic.
Awesome. So let's get into the games that we fucking dug. How about Super Shy Boy over there gets us started?
I love Boss Monster. Junior got me into Boss Monster.
We can all just agree here to starting on Boss Monster. Boss Monster was originally given to me, and I played it with the Magic the Gathering circle of friends that I have, because we all like Magic the Gathering. We all play a lot of card games. So
Khan is pretty experienced when it comes to these kind of...
I am actually more experienced than you guys in board games, but the problem comes from reading. Reading is such a difficult thing to figure out, okay, wait, what are the rules that they're trying to set us up for? Because I'm trying not to always think, no, I know more than what they're trying to tell me, right?
That you come in with that mentality.
Yeah, so the whole time I was reading new rules for Dragon Castle, I'm like, this is such a simple game. Why can't you do this? And I flip another page and I'm like, oh, you literally can't do the thing that I was thinking of because they tell you that you can't, because there's a rule that says you can do this.
So you're strategizing, right? You're already strategizing and finding loopholes before you finish the instructions,
which
kind of will fuck you up. Yeah.
Especially with D&D, and I know you've been wanting to play D&D and stuff.
I do.
Depending on the play group that you play with, I spend most of my time playing D&D trying to figure out ways to outwit my DM.
Yeah.
To make them think, oh, I didn't literally make this thing set in concrete. I made it set in hard dirt. And I'm like, so I got the hard dirt wet. Wink, wink.
Whoa.
And now it's mud.
And you've made a mess and you have to start over.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is Boss Monsters is a super dope game where basically
you are the boss monster.
Are the boss monster. This is a game played from the boss monster's perspective, and you're trying to beat heroes who work their way through a dungeon that you create with cards that deal a certain amount of damage to those heroes.
So you're designing your dungeon.
Right.
They have symbols on them that lure specific heroes.
Mage, cleric, fighter,
and fighter,
or a thief.
Yeah.
And if those monsters get all the way through all your dungeons...
Whoa, you're the boss monster. If these heroes...
If these heroes... See? I've been brainwashed. If these heroes get through all your dungeons without dying, they will deal you a number of damage depending on the type of hero.
Yeah.
They either deal 1
most of the game we deal with regular heroes. Those deal 1 damage.
Right.
And then once you fight through the whole heroes deck, you activate the epic heroes deck.
And those deal 2 damage.
Those are worth double. Yeah, they literally deal 2 damage and take and they're when you kill them, they're worth 2 souls.
And you as the boss monster have 5 HP.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super fun. Halfway through our practice run, I was starting to pick it up.
You figured out you're because again, I had you play Pokemon TCG earlier this year. Most of this year actually. He was halfway through the practice run. He was like, "Wait, why didn't I place this room here? Can I move my rooms with this other card? Can I activate this more than once?" I was like, look at you.
The strategy. Thank you, man. Hey, I got good teacher. The strategies are pretty easy to pick up, I think, even for people who are new to this game. So I really highly recommend this game for your Christmas nights when you'll be drinking some In-N-Out hot cocoa around.
We just figured out that was a thing.
I just found out for Californians.
For rainy days.
For all you Californians, In-N-Out on rainy days sells hot cocoa. That's the best news I've heard all year. But if you're sitting around and trying to teach, some other homies who may not be huge board game fans, this is a fun one to show them. Especially
speaking of board game newbies, I would still think that Myron is very much a board game newbie still, because you are also a board game newbie.
I agree.
Oh, definitely.
I agree. But what's nice is as you just start to play more board games, it just becomes much easier.
Yeah.
To go through the instructions, the setup. I figured out for the bigger game, you just set it up first. Just set it up real quick. And then you just start playing as you read it, and then you just pick it up and you pick up the pattern.
Right. It definitely depends on the game that you're like. I don't think you've played Settlers of Catan, have you?
No.
Right? So Settlers of Catan is very easily one of those, like, just set up the game and just somebody who's played before show what happens on your first turn.
Sometimes it just looks too intense because you have this giant board with all of these pieces, and you're like, that instruction manual is like 15 pages.
Yeah. But, when in doubt, just
pull it out.
That's literally it. Yeah,
you just
pull it out and just play.
Just start playing.
Play with it once.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Play with it twice. That's okay.
And on the second time, you'll be so good that.
But 3 times,
it's over before you know it.
I have a newfound love for co-op games. After I played Pandemic,
right?
It is so much fun working together.
Okay,
it's very different.
Tell us about
very
Pandemic. How does it go?
So Pandemic is basically a global outbreak of disease, and you and up to, I think, 4 or 5 players have to work together to build research centers or stop the viruses from having a massive outbreak. And the fun part is each player has different supports.
Okay.
So you are communicating and figuring out how to traverse this map.
So what's like first of all, it's super dope. That sounds super sick. Like you're playing against the board game itself.
He said it right at the time.
What's an example? I know I'm like super self-conscious about that. Game board. What is like an example of a support that one of the characters might have?
Well, we didn't figure this out till like later on, like halfway through.
Right.
But my support was that I can use my moves or my actions. You have up to 4 actions each turn.
Okay.
And I can use another character. I can move them around as if they were my piece to help set up taking care of cures for their turn.
Oh,
which
okay.
Strategically, I mean, theoretically, that gives one person up to 4 extra moves at the expense of you actually not moving your character at all. Right. So you're talking about it's a global game, and I looked at it, and it's like even Africa had like 5 or 6 points to like move around to, right? Something like that.
It was getting intense because as soon as you finish your turn, you have to basically pull 2 cards that tell you where to place the diseases.
That sounds crazy.
Every turn, the disease spreads.
Oh, shit.
And you have to stop it. So you're constantly moving and constantly trying to use your 4 actions in the most effective way to stop this spread of diseases.
So every turn, if you haven't taken down those 2 new places that the disease has spread to, you're basically like indebting yourself.
Yes, so you just see the viruses start to spread out. So at the same time, you're trying to either build a research center as you collect 5 cards of that area to stop the virus completely, so it doesn't come back in that area.
So how close did you guys get to world destruction?
We almost saved the world.
Oh, shit.
We just needed like 2 more turns, but we ran out of cards, and then that's automatic loss.
What was the last city that was left?
We had to take care of New Mexico.
Oh, shit. The best kind of people were still alive. I'm just kidding.
It just kept spreading
just kidding, New Mexico.
the diseases, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One of the things we were talking about earlier was, well, I was talking about game design, right?
Yes.
And how a good game can be a tabletop game, and then digitalizing that, turning it into a video game, actually isn't that far off. You know, it doesn't take a lot. And again, I was talking about XCOM. XCOM was a really, really good example of them making this tabletop game in-house and then making the video game and then ending up just putting out the tabletop version as well for people to play, which if we can get a hold of that eventually, I would love to buy that.
Dude, I say, yeah.
Because
I haven't even played XCOM.
It's a well, I mean, you know, you were talking about Fire Emblem earlier. It's a strategy RPG, right? It's really cool.
Guys, we have to play it.
The reason I brought it up is that generally it's weird. Board games have so much like different areas to expand on that you wouldn't expect normally, right? So like
you just think of like for me, the novice person, I'm just like Monopoly and Life,
right?
And that's
two
about
games where they're not necessarily competitive.
Yeah,
you're definitely not cooperating with anybody because you're still just like playing for yourself,
right?
And there's a lot of RNG involved in that, or random number generator, you know, luck.
Rolling dice, whatever. Yeah.
Whereas Pandemic is a cooperative experience.
Yeah.
And it's in a different way from another popular board game that I haven't actually gotten a chance to play. I think it's something Arkham Asylum.
Okay.
I have to look it up, but my phone's charging.
But I think the point that you're talking about is that like board games or board gaming is kind of making a comeback, and there's just this avenue, or there's different avenues that people don't usually explore when they're talking about, like, you know, getting together with your family and playing. And I think that it's something that I'm super stoked that we decided to go into, and I think a lot of people who are listening here, who are even fans of just gaming in general, you owe it to yourself. You need to do it.
It's nice because it kind of forces you to slow down. Video games are so fast.
Oh yeah,
everything in
Even
our
the
life.
slow ones are fast.
Everything in our life is really fast with today's technology.
Seriously,
and
man.
board games kind of makes you slow it down. You have to figure out the rules and read the instructions together, and you're like following a map together. It's like if we went to travel and all we had was a regular paper map.
Yeah.
And it makes the adventure more exciting, kind of.
It does, dude.
Because you end up navigating like we did in Sea of Thieves. We got 2 people manning a 10-person ship or an 8-player ship, and we're like running back and forth. Oh, finally figured out that there is a 2-person boat that you can travel the world in.
There's literally a dinghy meant for 2 people, and you guys.
Yeah, but we just wanted to be a pirate team of 2.
That's right, and we wanted the grandest, the most epic boat there is out there, because we ain't punk bitches.
There's a reason why Luffy has so many companions.
I get it now.
Because it's a fucking huge ship.
For those of you who are wondering what the fuck we're talking about, we got on Xbox
Live with the Xbox Game Pass, which allowed us to buy or rent or download and play Sea of Thieves, which is one of their newer games.
It's kind of like Monster Hunter, right? In a sense, like
not really. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just it's an adventure game.
It's much more closely relatable to Destiny in that it is a game that is more sought in experiences, whereas Destiny is kind of like an MMO that has dungeons, has raiding, has PvP. This is, I mean, actually, Sea of Thieves is going to be getting PvP later on.
Ooh.
But Sea of Thieves is currently more.
Kill you.
Sea of Thieves is currently more about the like. Well, I'm saying like a dedicated PvP mode, because currently,
what does PvP stand for?
Player versus player.
Penis versus.
Close.
Penis versus penis?
Penis v penis.
Which most likely the case in the gaming world.
Point being that Sea of Thieves is much more about the experience of you and your homies get on a fucking boat and you guys don't know how to sell a damn ship.
Yes. The game, I'm pretty sure, is about choosing missions to go deliver
questing.
cargo
Yeah.
and fight, random skeleton monsters as a pirate on the sea. And me and Nikonsi completely played it wrong, and we're like, hey, let's learn how to navigate this 8-person boat, and completely miss the islands we're supposed to go to, and do this for 2 hours. What do you think?
It was kind of an adventure. We
Was.
We
It
went
was
on
fun.
an adventure.
It was a lot of fun.
And
We would have kept
yeah.
going if that fucking skeleton didn't
I
blow
found
our
out
ship up.
I found out
With
the
a
game
musket.
that I was talking about earlier is actually called Arkham Horror,
Okay, right.
right? And so that game, which we should definitely eventually get around to trying.
I'm gonna write these
play
down
stuff.
while you're saying them.
Yeah.
So Epcom,
Arkham, like
and
ARKHAM.
Apricot?
Are you talking
Apricot.
about
No, Epcom, the one.
XCOM?
XCOM. I'm good at remembering
He
things.
kept saying Epcom, and I'm like, that's not even the right letter.
Epcot, Disney World.
Apricot
Okay, XCOM,
Capcom,
game board,
Mega Man.
board game.
board game.
This guy,
Versus
he's
Marvel.
literally writing it as he's
Game.
talking about
You
it.
don't know my life. Okay, and then what's this one?
Arkham Horror. Like ARK Ham that's the same word. Arkham
Horror.
Horror. And this game is kind of a PvE experience, as
Okay.
in player versus environment versus player.
That sounds like a blast.
And it's co-op in the sense of we are all trying to kind of fight off some Lovecraftian horror. And then the player versus player part comes from we have to figure out which one of us has been touched by the darkness.
The rock band, the popular rock band,
The
that
darkness
sings.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. I believe in the thing called love. Okay.
But yeah, so like it's kind of a mystery game, and that and there's a whole little section of stuff that tells you about how you're supposed to kind of dissuade and play the third man there. And that game is really cool, and I've only played it once, and everybody else was drunk and played it before, so I did not have any idea what was going on.
Okay, so guys, look forward to us either playing XCOM or Arkham Horror. And for our next board game review,
This guy.
I think we may do this once a month
It's kind of
or more often. I don't know. We'll see.
We're actually going to stop reviewing Kung Fu films and only review board games.
So this is the beginning of the new podcast. No, we're just kidding.
Switching it up on you.
another game.
Just
Actually, this
kidding.
might be the game that I was thinking of that's different from Arkham Horror.
Okay.
So completely disregard what I was saying about Arkham Horror.
Edit here, Alex.
This game is called Betrayal at House on the Hill.
I really want to play that game.
That's the one I was trying to talk about.
Betrayal, what?
Betrayal at House on the Hill. That might be the one that I was talking about,
Okay.
where you are working together, working against each other.
I think
Okay. Player versus environment versus player.
I think the games that we played tonight were excellent games for beginners and even those that are more experienced with board games. They're just very easy to pick up and play. Of course, we spent like hours. We spent like 4 hours playing board games.
We did.
We did.
And at least 2 hours was learning 4 different games.
But it didn't
So-
feel that long. It felt like it was, yeah.
I wanted to keep going. Another game we played, which was really fun tonight, was Dragon Castle.
Yes.
Which Dragon
I'm
Castle?
actually salty I didn't get to play that because I was reading the rules to help you guys. And I
It
was
was
like,
nice.
This is a cool game.
You really helped
right?
us out. And that was only the introductory play. The first play is usually the introductory play.
But it got pretty competitive there at the
It
end.
did.
You
How can I
literally
fuck-
figured it out.
How
You're
can I
like,
fuck him over?
Nikonsi swooped in there and beat me by 1 fucking point. I couldn't believe it.
literally, we saw them. We traced it back to the one move that set him 1 point ahead mathematically, and then we're like, wait, no, that move literally was also to take away a potential match for Alex.
The one move where he fucked me was the move that helped him win. So, thanks, Nakanti. Yeah, bastard.
Well played. Well played.
Yeah, very well played, sir. So the point of the game, I don't know.
Kind of an introduction to this game is like it's a matching game. It's similar to mahjong. It's actually based on mahjong, and in fact, it mentions mahjong in the instructions.
So you got these tiles that you lay out on a game board. I guess
there's 3 levels, and
you stack them up 3 levels, right?
Yeah. And so the game starts out. You can only take a tile from the top or the outer edges.
Right. So you have So you match them up, and then you put them on your own game board, which is your realm, and you have to match 4, and then you get to flip them over onto their back and put a shrine on.
I think this is what separates it from regular mahjong, by the way, is like that this whole flipping and setting up palaces and stuff.
Yeah, you want to flip as many as you can, and get as many shrines as you can, so that at the end of the game you total up your points and you try to beat the people that you're playing with.
I understand now why people have board game nights.
That's fun, dude.
Yeah, I want to play those because now I understand how to play them. But now I can add my strategies.
Yes, I think those are going to be like regulars for us. I mean, dude, it's the holidays. This is what, as I'm kind of getting older and I'm kind of seeing the magic being sapped out of Christmas. This is kind of the tradition that I want to start now. I don't want it to be so much about gifts, and I want it to be more about just getting together and just enjoying each other's company.
And playing some board games. We weren't even on our phones.
We really weren't.
I think
we were just so engulfed in these board games.
And like talking to one another.
The other thing is that, and another thing that separates board games from video games is also, number one, everybody needs to actually be willing to have the patience to learn something new, which we all did tonight. And I mean, look at it. We figured out 4 different games.
We were patient. We worked together. We worked against each other. We
laughed. We cried.
It was an fun, emotional roller coaster.
It's like
of warmth, and huggies.
We've all played Uno, and I would still love to play Uno at once in a while, just so I can yell out like, "Alex, you fool! You thought you had Uno. Luckily, I have when you gave me a draw 4 earlier, I drew this 1 card, a reversal. Wait, but that's not it. Not only is it my turn, but after this turn, it'll be Suki's turn.
I will wreck you at Uno.
The joke here is that I only have 3 cards left in my hand, and one of them is this green, because I called green earlier, and it's a stop. So we skip Suki's turn. It's Myron's turn. Go ahead, Myron.
Tiana chose that.
I've never played Uno before, so I don't know. Well, I'm totally kidding. I just wanted to.
What does Uno even mean?
Freaking pull the
I don't
cord.
even know why you yell Uno at when you're near the end of the game.
That's because you're stoked porque nomás tienes una tarjeta. So
sí.
It's so the
Tiana chose that Dragon Castle game. And I'm so happy she chose that game.
She almost fucking wrecked us.
Yeah, she was
she was a little freaking assassin.
She was just playing the long game.
She was, man.
We were like, what's she doing over there? Bam, 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 bam. Thanks for the points, guys.
So here's what I recommend and what I hope you guys take away from this kind of beginning of the holidays podcast. Get out of your comfort zone with board games. There are so many cool board games out there available, and if you want to take it to the next level, find some cool buds.
We've been saying board games this whole time, and I want to make a correction that actually should be addressed, and that is tabletop gaming.
Tabletop gaming.
Topless gaming.
That is optional. That is something that will leave up to you.
Yeah, that's all up to you.
However, tabletop gaming, guys, go out there, find some dope games, get together with your peeps, and spend some quality time and
because
stuff.
the thing about tabletop gaming, this is, when you say it like tabletop instead of board game, you're actually including D&D. Get your homies together and tell yourselves a story together about how Alex is a really bad bard. He really just doesn't understand how to actually sing to anybody or tell stories. But when we get into combat, he can at least stab somebody with a rapier.
I'll sing so good, I'll give you an extra turn. Okay? Like, I'll put some energy in your bones.
One last game that I played, but you two didn't get to play, is called Onitama.
That looked really cool.
It is a really fun game. It's an elegant and simple game of martial tactics. And the way it's set up, it's almost set up like a small version of chess, but here's the kicker. In order to win, you have to either destroy the other person's master or get your master to the other person's temple.
Which is the last row on the mat? Or just, okay.
That sounds a little bit like checkers.
Yes, but
like
that's
same
like,
kind of mechanics.
That's where the idea comes from.
Here's the kicker, though. You have the pawns and you have one master. And you pull 2 cards from the deck that gives you styles of movement.
Okay.
So, and then you get to draw one more card from the deck. And as you are choosing your movement, you choose your movement, okay, out of the 2 cards in front of you. And then the one that you use, you rotate it and you bring it to the side. Then the person in front of you chooses what move they want to make. The move that they use, the card style, ends up going to the side. And then you end up figuring out this pattern, and you only get to use the different styles that were chosen.
That sounds dope.
And again, it's I didn't even have to read the rules, but it is, if a game is simple to set up, it is generally a simple game.
It might have been the simplest game that
It definitely was the
played
simplest
tonight.
game here, but the thing is that, and I've been talking about it with Nikonsi all the time, is depth does not necessarily mean complexity. And
right.
Complexity doesn't necessarily mean depth. By comparison, I think the most complicated game, at least to get started, was the Dragon game.
Yeah.
Because it's about matching. There's 6 different things, and there's 2 factions. And on top of that, it's stacking things, it's flipping things, it's counting up points. And that was also the simple version of the game. We didn't even get into these weird like spirit and dragon cards.
I mean, all that goes to show is that how much more fun and how much more left there is to learn about the game, and how we can keep bringing these games back to our board game nights or tabletop nights. So,
what I was trying to say there is that but that game will stay fresher in a different version, in a different way from like Onitama. Onitama is much more of an interesting game in that it stays fresh because you're playing with it's more of a dual game about strategy.
Sounds dope.
It's like a kung fu match.
That's really cool. I got to play that one the next time around.
For sure.
But guys, did you guys have anything else to add about the games? I think
no.
Cool.
This is episode 1.
We're gonna start picking up some
like
new Kickstarter games.
Yeah.
And let's see how deep we can go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, 100%.
Tabletop games.
I think the other thing that I want to mention is that this was also night 1. Like, part of the thing about a game review, even if it's just like tabletop games, is the depth of knowledge and reviewing and replaying these games to have different appreciation and deeper appreciation for the content that we're getting, right? So like at first hand glance, I didn't get to play what's the Dragon Conquest?
Dragon Castle,
right? I didn't get to play it. I didn't get to play it, but I'm actually excited to play it.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun.
And
to continue to play like multiple rounds.
Right, Boss Monster is the same thing. I
Boss
haven't played it in forever. I've been played it for like 6 months at least, and I felt like I completely forgot it. And then we played that first round, and I'm like, oh no, I know how to ride this bike. Okay, I can ride the bike. Yo, I don't need to I took off my helmet for the second game.
Wow.
And I was like, let's go.
To piggyback off what you said, Nikonsi, anybody who has Kickstarter games and you guys want somebody to play them and check them out, dude, we are so happy to throw that into our once a month little tabletop game and see what's out there and what's new.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, and we'll put it up here on the podcast and give it a good review. But again, the 4 games, right, that we played today was Onitama, Boss Monsters, Dragon Castle, and Pandemic. Anything else you want to add?
I think once we start playing more tabletop games, we will build enough experience to start really reviewing them.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Like we review our films that we watch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, we're so excited to start this fun little new avenue. Nikonsi, boss idea. I love it, man.
Would you say it was also a monster idea? Would you have said it was a boss monster idea?
That's a boss.
Onitama.
Guys, this has been Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber. Follow us at HSTS33 on Instagram. And
HSTSC.
HSTSC. I'm dropping the chamber. HSTSC 33 on Instagram and on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook at Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber. We're on Stitcher, iTunes, all your major podcast apps. Subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe to get your new episodes every Friday. If you give us a 5-star review on iTunes, we will read your review and shout anybody out that you want to. Other than that, Nikonsi, we got anything? I think we got Khan's Twitch channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have obtained another capture card. We can finally play nice games again and not have to worry about the impact it's having on my system. So I will be playing Battlefield 5 and several other super dope games.
Very exciting.
So excited. I'm so happy.
Battlefield
right now.
5 looks epic.
Be on the lookout for a new segment. What we're going to do is, there's so many kung fu films that we just don't have time to watch them together. So we're going to break off and watch 1 or 2 by ourselves and then come in collectively to tell each other what we should watch and what we should skip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And what you should watch and skip.
Working on the, watching and skipping things. It's pretty good.
It's gonna be fun, guys. We're super excited to try all these new ideas and super excited to freaking bring them to you guys and continue to grow the podcast. But for tonight, we are
in peace.
Love and peace. Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber. We out.
This is a Hidden Shadow production.